How's it going, cosmonauts? I'm Cosmic and welcome back. Today we're back with another Marvel Rivals video. I'm back with another concept for you guys. As some of you may know, I'm a big X-Men fan, so I wanted to do a couple more X-Men characters. My tradition for some of these videos, I went with 3, and that means 1 for each role. So, without further ado, we have the Vanguard, which is Cable, our Duelist, which is Jubilee, and our Support, which is Nightcrawler. So, let's get straight into our Vanguard. Like with all characters, we'll start with their passive, and I called Cable's passive time adjustment. Cable has a time band that auto-adjusts his age. So I did want to explain first, there is a new status effect that Cable can do called aging. It basically works like a percentage-based anti-heal. That lasts for a certain period of time. But basically Cable is just immune to the aging buff due to his time bracelet. Let's get into his attacks. His first attack is called Pulse Rifle. It's a bulky 60 round full auto energy rifle with a tight bullet spread at close to medium range. But then the spread starts to kind of become bigger around in farther ranges. So his alt fire, this would be kind of like a time grenade called the Decade Dome. Cable creates a small, basically AoE dome that when enemies enter this dome, they are affected by the aging effect, which it starts to take away their health in percentage chunks, and then for 10 seconds afterwards, it has an anti-heal effect. Next up is his abilities. His first ability is called Telepathic Barrier. Using his telepathic powers, Cable creates a barrier in front of him, kind of like a Reinhardt shield or a Doctor Strange shield. One that you can hold directly in front of you, and it protects people that stand behind you. And it can be held as long as you hold the button or until the shield is broken. And then his other ability is called Time Tear, which Cable uses his time band to rip a hole in time, returning him to where he was 5 seconds ago, with the HP he had and the status he was in 5 seconds beforehand. So yes, it's Tracer Recall. Hey, last up, we got his ultimate, but certainly not least. It is called Mind Transfer. Cable looks at an enemy and can transfer his mind into the enemy, putting them out of play, and putting Cable into their body. So you can either choose to do whatever you want in their body for the amount of time. You can walk into your team with ultimate or something like that, or just shoot at the enemies, right? So this lasts about 10 seconds, but this also leaves Cable's body exposed, and he can be killed. But during those 10 seconds when you're in the body, if Cable gets killed, it doesn't kill you, it only kills you when you try to go back to your body and he's dead. So I came up with 1 team-up ability per character, and for Cable's team-up ability, it is called Fiery Disciple, and it is between him and Phoenix. So, little lore dump about Cable. For those that don't know, Cable is the son of Cyclops and Madeline Pryor. And Madeline Pryor is a clone of Jean Grey. She literally looks exactly like her. Has the same powers and everything, pretty much. Technically, his mom is Jean Grey in a weird, twisted way, because his mom is a clone of Jean Grey. That's why I wanted them to have a team up. Because Madeline Pryor's not in this game. His dad's not in this game. What did you want me to do? So, whenever Cable and Phoenix are on the same team, This gives Cable a boost from the Phoenix Force, making his gun have a fire rate increase, and this also gives him a movement speed increase. So for skins, I picked out 3 skins for each of the characters. With Cable starting us off, we're going to start off a trend that you will see will carry through for all of these characters, which is the Xmen 97 skin. If you've seen my past videos, you know that, in my opinion, I think the Xmen 97 designs are the definitive designs of most of these characters. And I think Cable is no exception. Another one that I would like to see is Deadpool 2, because this is a lot of people's, only introduction of Cable, and most people only know Cable from this. So it'd be really cool for this to be included. And last but not least is the 4 Horsemen Apocalypse one. At least that's what I'm pretty sure this is. I definitely could be wrong, so if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. But I just feel like this would look cool, and it's different enough from his base comic design, which doesn't change a whole lot, so it's hard to find one that's very distinct. This brings us to our duelist, which, like I said, is Jubilee. Jubilee is one of my favorite X-Men characters, having really cool powers. For those that don't know, her powers are basically she can shoot fireworks out of her hands. It's really cool. Really hope they use her in the MCU, but the thing is, with the X-Men, so they have to pick a young character. That's normally what they do. And they either pick between Jubilee and Kitty Pryde, so it's literally one or the other. So if we get Kitty Pryde, we get Kitty Pryde, and if we get Jubilee, we get Jubilee. I personally like Jubilee more, and think she kind of sits in the shadow a little bit more, but I would love to see her. Starting off with her passive, it's called Fountain Float. When Jubilee is in the air, she can glide. She also does have a double jump as well. Her first attack is called Energy Plasmoids. She basically throws a firework-like projectile that when it hits the ground, it explodes into basically like a firework explosion. Her alt fire is called Cherry Bomb Combat. It is a close-range combo of 3 punches with her hands that if her hands, it will do an explosion of fireworks and deal heavy close-range damage. That leads us to her abilities. Her first one is called Psionic Shields. Basically covering herself in a psionic shield, Jubilee's health will increase with shield. This also gives her a short-term damage negation for 1 or 2 seconds. This works very similar to the Fantastic Four team-up, but just as a standalone ability. Her next ability is called Fizzle Dodge. In whatever direction Jubilee is moving, or wherever direction you're pointing your joystick, or direction you're moving with your controls, she will dodge. Basically, she'll jump and do an explosion into that direction. And this will leave some fizzly sparks on the ground that if enemies stand in those zones, it will do a fire damage over time. To end off her abilities, but certainly not least, is her ultimate, which I call Show Ender. Jubilee makes a massive firework into the shape of a dragon that she sends crashing into the ground, exploding, dealing massive damage to enemies. Very similar to a Iron Man or a Magneto ult. For Jubilee's team up, I went and dove into comics when I was making her and found out that currently she is a vampire. So I wanted to take a little bit of inspiration from that. So whenever Jubilee is on a team with Blade, it activates the team up ability Awaking Bloodlust. When Basically, this activates some of Jubilee's vampiric features, including a movement speed increase, as well as her Cherry Bomb combat now does lifesteal as well. For Jubilee skins, like I said, you know where I'm starting with this. Xmen 97, baby. This is the best look for Jubilee, in my opinion. My introduction to Jubilee was the original Xmen cartoon, so this is just an evolution of that. Next up is her suit in the comics when she is a vampire. I love how she keeps the normal cloak and everything else just turns like black. Great. Love the suit. Last up would be the X-Men classic suit. Similar to how we have one for Namor, we have one for Magic, and Psylocke. Similar to those ones. I really just like the style of those, and would love to see Jubilee with one as well. Last up, we get to our strategist. This one was very fun to make, and it is, of course, Nightcrawler. I know a lot of people would like to see him as a duelist, but I really base this entire reason of him being a strategist off of one ability, which I'll talk about when we get there. But we'll start with his passive, which is called Healing Void. For those that don't know how Nightcrawler's powers work, basically similar to Magic, he can kind of go into another dimension. Him, instead of it being a portal, it's a puff of smoke. So basically whenever he enters that other dimension, the puff of smoke, if teammates are in that puff of smoke, they are healed, because the void in my version of this character has healing effects as well. His first attack is called Swashbuckling Cutlasses. It is a 3-hit combo, close range. First hit is a right hand swing, second hit is a left hand swing, and the third hit is a spin with all 3 cutlasses. And for what I mean by 3 is he has one on his tail as well. His second attack is called Health Knot Pistol. Nightcrawler shoots his Flint Knock Pistol, and instead of it shooting a bullet, it shoots a healing capsule similar to Rocket's ult fire. This does a splash and does healing for teammates. We're on to his abilities. His first one is called Tail Deflect. Basically, he swings his tail in front of him, and it uses it to deflect all incoming fire. Basically, wherever your crosshair is pointed is where the deflected bullets will go. Basically, a Genji deflect, but for a support character. And like I said, we're to that ability that made him a strategist to begin with. His teleport ability. So, when you look at your teammates, you have 2 options when you hit teleport. You can either use the first one, which is hold this, which Nightcrawler will teleport to them, basically heal them, and teleport back to where he was. Either that, or you can do stay safe, which causes Nightcrawler to teleport to them, grab them, and pull them back to where he was. Similar to like a Life Weaver grab. Onto his ultimate, which is called Everywhere at Once. Nightcrawler will teleport to each one of the active enemies, stabbing them once with his cutlass, dealing 250 damage. He will do this to every single enemy that is active once, and then go back to where he was. For team up abilities, I did one between Nightcrawler and the Thing, just because I had an idea for it, and this is what I had. Basically, Nightcrawler hops on the back of the thing, and whenever the thing uses the Yanti Street charge, Nightcrawler will basically make him teleport and track towards an enemy. For Nightcrawler's first skin, of course we went with, to the surprise of no one, Xmen 97. Like I said, best designs, and Nightcrawler is no short of perfect in this design. Next up is the Ultimate Wolverine Nightcrawler. So this is the more recent Ultimate Universe where Wolverine is also the Winter Soldier. And in this universe, Nightcrawler is a Catholic father, and I think that would be really cool as a skin. Last up is Pirate Nightcrawler. Give this man a pirate skin. He has the fucking cutlasses and flintlock pistol. He's basically a pirate. Just give him the hat. And with that, that brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave it a like. If you disliked it, you can always leave it a dislike. If you really want to help me out, you can always subscribe. It is free, and we are trying to hit 500 subs by Halloween. We can make that happen. It would be a fucking dream. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions for any future character concepts that you would like to see or anything of the sort, please leave them in the comments below. If you made it this far in the video, you are an MVP. Peace.